We begin our team coverage tonight with 8 News reporter Nate Eaton, who was following severe flooding in Smithfield. Nate, how bad is it there?
Christina, people living here in Smithfield say they have not seen it this bad since 2002 with Hurricane Isabel. Take a look behind me. This is a road that runs through Smithfield with a bridge completely underwater. That sign that says caution high water, yeah, it is very high. And then if we pan over here to the Smithfield station, there's a hotel, a restaurant, a few other businesses in there completely underwater. Business owners are saying tonight they're glad that their buildings are built high up because this water, it really is taking a toll. Now, we spoke with a few people when we got into town today. They say it has been raining constantly for the past 2 days. Schools were canceled, let out early today, and they've received word that schools will be canceled again tomorrow. One thing, it's not just rain, but it's heavy wind coming, consistently blowing and making the water really kind of go everywhere. And of course, we're here at an incline, so it really is just piling up. Believe it or not, a few hours ago, it was up to probably right here, my knee area, and people say now it's actually going down. That, of course, dealing with the tide. Now, we just spoke with a homeowner about this rain. Here's what he had to say.
Well, that's hard times for all of us now, and we've been through it before. I remember 2002 when Isabel was there, we had something similar, but we've been blessed. We'll stay here and it'll work out just fine.
That, of course, is a homeowner living here. His whole backyard is flooded. Picnic tables, they're now on the street in front of his house. Coming up in a few minutes, hear more from him. Also, the amazing video, these pictures you have to see. For now, reporting live in Smithfield, I'm Nate Eaton for 8 News. Back to you.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks, John. Flooding is happening all around here, and it's also predicted south of the metro area in Smithfield.
Our 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is there now live. He has the latest on conditions. They look pretty bad, Nate.
Yeah, Christina, the people here are sure glad, I'm sure, to hear when John says that it's going to subside. I told you a few minutes ago we were going to be in the backyard of a home that was flooded. We went there. It was so windy, so rainy, we had to come back here. Check out the shopping center behind me. There's at least a couple of inches, maybe up to a foot or two of water there at the base of all of those stores. A couple of the store owners or workers keep coming outside on the deck to see if the water has subsided. For good news for them, it has. And then if we take a pan over here, something kind of ironic here on the deck, there's a little canoe up there. I don't know if anyone has been out in that canoe today, but it sure would help here on this very popular bridge. We do notice occasionally on the other side of the bridge, a couple of cars come to cross over. I mentioned earlier that we spoke with a homeowner here who says it hasn't been this bad since 2002. Here's part of our conversation.
Well, I put up a retainer wall around the back, and it seems to be doing the job, but we have a lot of water to accumulate inside the wall, and I have pumps to pump that out. So far, it's working fairly well.
So you have the pumps going right now?
The pumps are running right now as we speak.
Wow. What do you? Yeah, those pumps are running as we speak, just at the home right behind us. We're going to be here all morning long for Good Morning Richmond to keep you updated on the water levels here and give you your complete forecast. Right now, we'll go back inside the studio to Christina.
All right.
Severe flooding wreaking havoc in central Virginia this morning. Our 8 News reporter Josh Landon and Nate Eaton have team coverage this morning. We start with you first, Nate. You are in Isle of Wight County with the latest. Good morning.
Good morning, Amy. We are here in Smithfield, and check out the main road that runs through Smithfield. This is South Church Street. You can see it is a complete river going through the Church Street. Now, over here is what's called Smithfield Station. There's a hotel in there. There's some shops. There's a candy store, completely covered in water. And then if we pan a little more, you can see some homes. Yeah, this is the yard right next to a house. You can see back there the clothesline. I don't know if we can see that in the picture, but the clothesline, it's about halfway up there. Of course, this is impacting several people here, several homes here, and the main road is shut down. We have here a homeowner named Timmy. We interviewed him last night as he was trying to get water out of his house. Timmy, what's the update? Are you still covered in water?
Yeah, we're still covered in water, and the renters are covered as well. They had to move out of their homes, and we really need help down here, man, from FEMA or the Red Cross or someone. These people don't have anywhere to go. They lost a lot, and it has a tremendous impact.
Have you ever seen it this bad here?
Each time it seemed to intensify. It was really bad when we had the last storm in 2002. But this time it seems as though it's much greater, and the tide's supposed to rise again this morning, with the greatest impact coming this afternoon.
Now, we spoke with you last night. You had pumps going to keep water out of your house. Has that changed overnight?
Well, the pumps ran all night, and I have an enclosed wall to try to protect my house. But what has happened, more rain fell than the pumps could remove. And now I have the same problem over again with water in my house.
Yeah, so you've got a couple inches in your basement.
Perhaps more, and a lot of damage.
All right, schools here canceled today. A lot of businesses shut down. It really is kind of a mess here, especially with this going on. And in about 20 minutes, the tide is expected to come in. So people here are getting prepared. Now we're going to go over now to Josh Landon. He's in Chesterfield County monitoring the weather there. Josh, what can you tell us?
Could be looking at, again, some problems out there with trees and power lines coming down. 50 scatty showers at the lunch hour, 53 at 5 p.m. Because of all the rain we have, still flood warnings out there. And that's where we pick up the other part of this story, the damage that's going on. We're going to send it out to our own Nate Eaton, who's live in Smithfield, Isle of Wight County. Nate, behind you, it's a lake, not a street anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Matt. It is a complete lake. The good news is that it has stopped raining. We're getting some sprinkles out here, but not a downpour like it has been for the past 24 hours. Check out behind me. That's a hotel, a restaurant, a candy store, a bunch of other businesses. They are literally having to use a canoe to get to their place of business. In the hotel there last night, every room was full except one. So instead of driving the guests and having them park right here, they used this canoe right up there on that ramp. And we have Margie here with us. She works at the hotel. Margie, come on in here. Tell me, how unique of an experience is it to take these guests to their rooms in canoes?
It's very unique. The last time it probably happened was Isabel.
Yeah. Is that the last time that it's been this bad?
Yes, Normally, if a northeasterner comes through, or if we have unusually high tides, our parking lots will flood, but not on this end. So this doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and we saw just a few minutes ago a huge semi-truck went through this big lake right here. Have you been seeing a lot of cars go through?
Not today. We did yesterday afternoon when the tide went out. We had some cars that came through, but for the most part, everybody who lives here pretty much knows, or they were calling us and asking us if the roads were closed.
Now, it looks like the Smithfield station is built pretty high up. Have you had any damage inside?
We haven't had any damage in the new section in the lodge, but 5 of our boardwalk rooms did flood yesterday.
Okay, and so the guests that are in there, how do they get out today, and how are you shuttling them back and forth?
Until the tide comes in, we're okay. They're putting trash bags on their feet in order to get down the ramp, but in about an hour, we will probably be bringing them out either by the little cart or by canoe again.
All right, that should be a fun time. Thank you so much, Margie.
You're welcome.
And you know, just in the past few minutes, the tide's coming in right now. When we got here, you could walk up that ramp, but you can see that the water really is rising right now. So it should be interesting to see what happens here in the next hour or so. Right now, we're going to check in to Chesterfield County and see how the weather's going there. Here's 8 News reporter Josh Landon.
It's been pretty busy in Chesterfield.
Because of the rain over the past couple of days, we have numerous flood warnings in effect through the weekend. And that's the other part of the story, the flooding and the problems, the James River, even the impact on coastal sections. That's where we find our own Nate Eaton, who's live in Smithfield. Nate, it is looking like a mess behind you.
Now that the sun's coming up, we're really kind of seeing a whole new dimension to the damage and the flooding that's happening here in Smithfield. You can take a look at my brand new plastic bags that I've put on. If you don't have rain boots, those come in handy. I'm going to step out of the way. Check out right over here. It looks like one huge, huge lake. And that's a bridge. This bridge on South Church Street is a major thoroughfare through Smithfield. A lot of people use it. It's one of the main 2 roads that you can get through the city with, but it is completely covered. You can't get through here today. And then when we pan over here to the restaurant and the hotel and everything, what normally is a parking lot is now just covered in water. And in a few minutes here, there's a few guests still in that hotel. They're going to start using that canoe to bring them back and forth, because for a while here they've been putting on these plastic bags, walking up the ramp over to their room and back and forth. the water's getting so high with the tide coming in, that's not going to be possible. So it's definitely a vacation to remember if you're staying here in this hotel, the Smithfield Station, and you get to go to your room in a canoe. Coming up on 8 News at 9 o'clock, there's a home right over here that is flooded. Their basement, he had picnic tables in the backyard. They're now out by the street. That's how bad this water has been. We're going to go on a little tour and show you the damage that's impacting homeowners. But for now, yeah, here in Smithfield, Virginia today, people are still dealing with the high waters. This right here is the Smithfield Station. There's a hotel there on the top 2 floors. Down below, there's a restaurant, a candy store, some other shops, completely covered in water, as you can see. Not only that, it's gone on over to the road and across the road where there also is normally a parking lot. Everything completely soaked. Not a lot of cars going through here today. And there are actually people staying in this hotel, and the owner has a unique way of getting people in and out. How are you doing it, Ron?
We're doing two different things. As you can see right now, we're using a little buggy system to get you from low water to high water. When it really gets deep, we put you in a canoe and row you across.
Now, you still are open for business and things are going just fine, right?
We are. The hotel's open for business. It doesn't look like we are. The restaurant is closed, but we are feeding our hotel guests.
Okay, so I'm gonna hop in here. This is what the hotel guests have to do, right? They hop in here and then, Ron, take it away, Ron. They take them out into the street here where a truck, Ron's truck, takes them into town and they go to work. You know, a lot of Dominion power workers are staying here at the hotel because they're going out and responding to power outages throughout the city of Smithfield, and they are helping people get their power back, and it's as easy as that. Definitely a trip to remember. Very good, Ron. Thank you. There's also several homes that have been impacted. As you can see right behind me, a lot of water here at these houses. Coming up on 8 News at noon, we will have a full report on the damages and just what is happening. But for now, reporting in Smithfield, I'm Nate Eaton, 8 News.